Chapter 6. How Gunther fared to Isenlend for Brynhild. New tidings came across the Rhine. 'Twas said that yonder many a fair maid dwelt. The good King Gunther thought to win him one of these. High, therefore, rose the warrior's spirits. There lived a queen beyond the sea, whose like men knew not anywhere. Peerless was her beauty, and great her strength. With doughty knights she shot the shaft for love. The stone she hurled afar, and sprang afar after it. He who craved her love must win without fail 3 games from this high-born dame. When the noble maid had done this passing off, a stately knight did hear it by the Rhine. He turned his thoughts upon this comely dame, and so heroes must needs later lose their lives. One day when king and vassal sat and pondered to and fro in many a wise, whom their lord might take to wife, who would be fit to be their lady, and beseem the land, up spake the lord of the Rhinelands. I will go down to the sea, and hence to Brynhild. However it may go with me, for her love I'll risk my life. I will gladly lose it, and she become not my wife. Against that do I counsel you, spake then Siegfried. If, as ye say, the queen doth have so fierce a want, he who wooeth her for love will pay full dear. Therefore should ye give over the journey. Then spake King Gunther, never was woman born so strong and bold that I might not vanquish her with mine own hand. Be still, spake Siegfried, ye little know her strength. So will I advise you, spake Hagen then, that ye beg Siegfried to share with you this heavy task. This is my rede, sith he doth know so well how matters stand with Brynhild. The king spake, Wilt thou help me, noble Siegfried, to woo this lovely maid? And dost thou, I pray thee, and this comely dame become my love? For the sake will I risk both life and honor. To this Siegfried, son of Sigmund, answered, I will do it. And thou give me thy sister Brynhild, the noble queen. For my pains I ask no other need. I'll pledge that, Siegfried, in thy hand, spake then Gunther, and if fair Brynhild come hither to this land, I'll give thee my sister unto wife. Then canst thou live ever merrily with the fair. This the noble warriors swore oaths to do, and so the greater grew their hardship, till they brought the lady to the Rhine. On this account these brave men must later be in passing danger. Siegfried had to take with him hence the cloak which he, the bold hero, had won mid dangers from a dwarf, Albric he might. Those bold and mighty knights, how made them albeit ready for the journey? When Siegfried wore the cloak of darkness, he had strength anew, the force of full 12 men beside his own. With cunning arts he won the royal maid. This cloak was fashioned so, that whosoever any wot within it, none saw him. Thus he won Brynhild, which brought him dole. Now tell me, good knight Siegfried, before our trip began, shall we not take warriors with us into Brynhild land, that we may come with passing honors to the sea? 30,000 men-at-arms can soon be called. However many men we take, quoth Siegfried, the queen doth us so fierce a want, that they must perish through her haughty pride. I'll give thee better counsel, O brave and worthy king. Let us fare as wandering knights adown the Rhine, and I will tell thee those that shall be of the band. In all 4 knights will journey to the sea, and these will woo the lady. Whatever be our fate thereafter, I shall be one of the 4 comrade. The second thou shalt be, Hagen be the third, and have we hope of life, Dankwart then the 4th. The valiant man, 1,000 others do not match us in the fight. Gladly would I know, spake then the king, ere we go hence, 'twould please me such, what garments we should wear for Brynhild, which would beseem us there. Pray tell this now to Gunther. Weeds of the very best which can be found are worn all times in Brynhild's land. We must wear rich clothes before the lady, that we feel no shame when men shall hear the tidings told. The good knight spake, Then will I go myself to my dear mother. if perchance I can bring it to pass that her fair maids purvey us garments, which we may wear with honour before the hag-born maid. Hagen of Throng spoke then, lordly wise, Wherefore will ye pay your mother for such service? Let your sister hear what ye have in mind, and she'll purvey you well for your journey to Brynhild's court. Then sent he word to sister that he would fain see her, and knight Siegfried too sent word. Ere this happed, the fair had clad her passing well, that these brave men were coming. It gave her little grief. Now were her attendants too arrayed in seemly wise. The lordlings came, and when she heard the tale, from her seat she rose and walked in courtly wise to greet the noble stranger and her brother too. Welcome be my brother and a comrade. I'd gladly know, she spake the maid, what ye lords desire. Sith ye by thus come to court, pray let me hear how it standeth with you noble knights. Then spake King Gunther, my lady, I'll tell you now, maugre your lofty mood, yet have we mickle care. We would ride a wooing far into foreign lands, and for this journey we have need of costly robe. Now sit you down, dear brother, spake the royal maid, and let me hear aright these ladies be whom ye fair would woo in lands of other kings. By the hand the lady took the chosen knights, and with the twain she walked to where she sat, a fair upon a couch, worked, as well I wot, with dainty fingers embossed in gold. There might they have fair pastime with their ladies. Friendly glances and kindly looks passed now full oft between the twain. In his heart he bare her, she was dear to him as life, and after days fair Kriemhild became strong Siegfried's wife. Then spake the mighty king, dear sister mine, without thy help it may not be. We would go for knightly pastime to Brynhild's land, and have need of princely garb to wear before the dame. Then the noble maiden answered, Dear brother mine, I do you now to wit, that whatever need ye have of help of mine, that stand I ready give. Should any deny you aught, 'twould please Kriemhild but ill. Most noble knights, beseech me not with such concern, but order me with lordly air to do whatso ye list. I stand at your bidding, and I will do it with a will. So spake the winsome maid. We would fain, dear sister, wear good attire, and this your noble hand shall help to choose. Your maidens then must make it fit us, for there be no help against this journey. Then spake the princess, Now mark ye what I say, silks I have myself. See that men do bring us jewels upon the shields, and this will work the clothes. Gunther and Siegfried too give glad assent. Who are the comrades, spake the queen, who shall fare with ye thus clad to court? He spake, I shall be one of four. My liegemen twain, Dunquert and Hagen, shall go with me to court. Now mark ye well, my lady, what I say. Each of us four must have to wear for 4 whole days 3 change of apparel, and such goodly trappings that without shame we may quit Brynhild land. And fitting wise the lords took leave and parted hence. Kriemhild the queen bade 30 of her maidens, who were skilful in such work, come forth from out their bower, silks of Abi, white as snow, and their face silk of Zazamain, green as is the clover, the overlaid with precious stone, that gave garments pressing fair. Kriemhild herself, the high-born maiden, cut them out. Whatso they had at hand of will-wrought linings from the skin of foreign fish, but rarely seen of folk, they covered now with silk, as the wont to wear. Now here great marvels of these shining weeds, from the kingdom of Morocco and from Libya too, they had great store of fairest silks, with which the kith of any king did ever win. Kriemhild made it well appear what love she bore the twain, sith upon the proud journey they had set their minds. They deemed her mind to be well fit. Upon the sleigh fine silk as black as coal, this would still beseem all doughty knights at high festal tide. From out a setting of Arabian gold there shone forth many stone. The lady's zeal, it was not small, forsooth in 7 weeks they wot the robe. Ready too were weapons of the right good knight. And now they all stood dight. There was built for them in haste upon the Rhine a sturdy little skiff, that should bear them downward to the sea. Weary were the noble maids from all their cares. Then warriors were told that their brave vesture they should wear were now prepared, as they craved it. So it now was done. Then no longer would they tarry on the Rhine. They sent a message to their war companion, if perchance they should care to view their new attire, to see if it be too long or short. All was found in fitting measure, and for this they gave the lady thanks. All who saw them could not but aver that never in the world had they seen attire more fair. Therefore they wore it gladly at the court. None wouldst how to tell of better knightly weeds, nor did they fail to give great thanks. Then the lusty knights craved leave to go, and thus the lordlings did in courtly wise. Bright eyes grew dim, and moist thereat from weeping. Kriemhild spake, Dear brother, ye might better tarry here a while, and pay court to other dames, where ye would not so risk your life. Then would I say, well done, ye might find nearer home a wife as high of birth. I ween their hearts did tell them what would hap. All wept alike, no matter what men said. The gold upon their breasts was tarnished by their tears, which thick and fast coursed downward from their eye. She spake, Sir Siegfried, let this dear brother of mine be condemned to your fealty and troth, that naught may harm him in Brunhild's land. Thus the full brave knight vowed in Lady Kriemhild's hand. The mighty warrior spake, If I lose not my life, ye may be free from every care, my lady. I'll bring him to you soon again hither to the Rhine, that now of surety. The fair maid bowed her thanks. Men bare their gold-hued shields out to them upon the sands, and brought them all their harness. One bade lead up the steeds, for they would ride way. Much weeping then was done by comely dames. The winsome maid stood at the estimates. A high wind stirred the ship and sail. The proud war-fellowship embarked upon the Rhine. Then spake King Gunther, Who shall be the captain of the ship? That will I, quoth Siegfried. I wot well how to steer you on the flood, that no good knights the right water ways be well known to me. So they parted merrily from out the Burgundian land. Siegfried quickly grasped an oar, and from the shore the stalwart man gained push. Both Gunther took the helm himself, and thus the worshipful and speedy knight set forth from land. With them they took rich food, and such good wine, the best that could be found along the Rhine. Their steeds stood fair, they had good easement, their ship rode well, scant harm did hap. Their stout sheet rope was tightened by the breeze, 20 leagues they sailed, or ever came the night. With good wind downward toward the sea, those hard toils later brought the high-mettled warrior pain. Upon the 12th day morning, as we here say, the winds had borne them far away to Einstein in Brunhild's land. And none save Siegfried was this known. But when King Gunther spake so many castle and broad marches, too how soon he spake. Pray tell me, friend Siegfried, is it known to you whose are these castles in this lordly land? Siegfried answered, I know it well. 'Tis the land and folk of Brunhild and the fortress Isenstein. Has ye heard him say of Brunhild? Fair ladies ye may still see there today. Methinketh good to advise you, heroes, that ye be of one single mind, and that ye tell the selfsame tale. For if we go today before Brunhild, in much jeopardy must we stand before the queen. When we behold the lovely maiden with her train, then, ye famed heroes, must ye tell but the single tale, that Gunther be my master, and I his man. Then what he craveth will come to pass. Full ready they were for whatever he bade them vow. Now, or because of pride, did any one abstain. They promised that he would, thereupon all farewell, when King Gunther saw fair Brunhild. Forsooth I vow it less for thy sake than for thy sister's, the comely maid, who is to me as mine own soul and body. Gladly I will bring to pass that she become my wife.